we can do a quick run through if you want to or not, but it's starting to record. It's up to whatever. If you guys want to start now, do a quick trial. It's up to y'all.
Okay.
So whenever say if we're doing an actual one, thumbs up. We're doing an actual one. If we're doing another trial, let me know.
We'll we'll do an actual one.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. We know what we're doing. Let's do it, boys.
Yeah. We've done this before.
Welcome to the Monster Trio podcast. My name's Tawan.
I'm Dominique.
And I'm Matt. And today we'll be discussing what we think the best Dragon Ball Z saga is today.
And man, oh man, is this going to be a good conversation, boys. I grew up on Dragon Ball Z and watched it with my family. I said that in the first podcast we have on here, how I got into anime. So I'm excited. I still read it to this day. So I have my opinions and my thoughts.
All right. Go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say, I think me and my brother, we watched it almost at dinner time every night. And I think when we were growing up, and I'm very excited still to read it to this day, but we'll be discussing Dragon Ball Z for sure today, not Super.
Yeah, well, yeah, none of that GT, none of that Super, none of that stuff, like just Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it's definitely a nostalgia factor for me. I mean, gosh, I remember, coming home after school, getting excited for the fight that they just left us on that cliffhanger from the day before, or if it was on Friday and you have to wait till Monday to see the next one. But yeah, this one's definitely near and dear to my heart, so I'm excited. I mean, I think the choice is going to be obvious.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
And good job, guys, and cut. For sure. I mean, the Frieza saga is the best one. Wait, we weren't in agreement to that?
No, not at all.
Please. Frieza saga's good. It's all right.
Frieza is overrated.
How do you know? Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. I was going to start off with a strong conversation of. I remember waiting for that Super Saiyan to finally come out and seeing the gold hair. Wasn't expecting. Nobody knew what the Legend of Super Saiyan was when it first came out.
I'll give you that.
It's like Frieza just coming out of the depths and just kills Krillin right in front of everybody. Gave zero crap about Krillin. And then Goku gets angry enough and just lightning starts and all of a sudden blonde hair. Just what just happened?
I will say that's like a big bonus for the potential of Frieza saga being the best saga was the Krillin factor. I mean, Krillin was just beat up and killed left and right, and it was kind of it became a running joke. That's what the Abridged did, which just made it a joke because of how many times Krillin was beat up and killed.
Now that, and I don't know. I still remember the scene when Frieza's second form and just stabs Krillin in the chest. For some reason, that always cringes me every time. Just seeing blood drip down Krillin's face. It's just the horrificness of how bad of a person Frieza is. Only because he's already done terrible things already, but then he goes and kills one of the main characters, or let me say main at this point characters of Dragon Ball at the time. And
I will give it to you. We got to learn more about the Namekians in that arc as well. So that really, I think that really sold it for me. We got to go to a whole new planet, which that's something that we really haven't done again since. But yeah, he's an integral character to the series. I'm not gonna lie. I know that. I'll give you that. I like the saga. It's just not the best. That's all.
It was also interesting because we got to see a little bit of the backstory for the Saiyans and obviously watch Vegeta's turn from bad guy to anti-hero. He's
I wouldn't
not
say
necessarily
still
a good
anti-hero.
guy.
Anti-hero to maybe a good guy to more anti-hero to bad again, and then repeat process.
And we all know Frieza is a bad mother. Shut your mouth. But what? 4 forms? 4 forms?
4 forms.
4 forms.
And he was it even when he was killing Nail in the outskirts? That was just his first form, and he's this is the most. I don't think the anime actually said Nail's the most powerful Namekian on their planet, but I just still remember the Dragon Ball Z abridged and be This training, he's the strongest. He will kick your ass. Super Kami Guru, he will kick your ass.
Super Kami Guru.
And that's another reason. Like, I know it's not
Ew.
part of the actual anime, but the Dragon Ball Z Abridged Frieza saga, also best saga of the thing.
I'll give it to you on that one. That is a funny arc or saga, especially with Super Kami Guru and Vegeta.
Oh, he's calling himself God now.
He'll take his coat. He doesn't have a coat. He's the one who murdered everybody. But we're not talking about Abridged. Sorry. Going back.
However, if you haven't seen Abridged, go take the time to watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged because it's hilarious.
All right. So what's your list, Matt, of what?
I mean,
why you think that?
The setup for the Frieza arc, I think, is most transition from the Saiyan arc going to the Namekian planet. It made sense. It clicked all the boxes to why they are going to this planet. Even after the flaw they have is why Goku didn't go with them initially, because they could have just given him the senzu beans anyway. They know these senzu beans exist. But just the setup was, I think, the most fluid. Even the venture that Krillin and Gohan had to explore the planet before even Vegeta got there was interesting. Then Vegeta entering, then the Ginyu Force, just all of the Ginyu Force and their shenanigans, and then like when you think
Love
they're
the
on the
Ginyu
brink
Force.
of death, here comes everybody's favorite hero, Goku, to save the day, and just starts kicking everybody's butt. And then Frieza starts. Then after when Ginyu and Goku switch bodies 4 or 5 times, how many ever times they actually switch,
Change.
and then Goku recovering, and then Frieza going through all Frieza forms, and Piccolo reviving, Super Kami Guru killing himself to prevent Frieza from actually becoming immortal. I mean, and then like the round it out, like the thing we heard about the whole entire time was Vegeta being like, "Oh, I'm about to turn Super Saiyan." How do you know you're about to turn Super Saiyan when you don't even know what it is? But-
Yes, it's happened. It's finally happened. I am the
But
greatest
just-
thing that happened ever to the Saiyans. I finally reached it, the pinnacle of it all. I've become a Super Saiyan.
It's like, I don't think you are, actually. It's like, but then when it actually happened, and after when the first spirit bomb against Frieza resurrecting himself, pun intended for the movie on top of that, resurrecting himself the first time from the depths of the spirit bomb and just murders Krillin, Super Saiyan happens, and then we just see Goku beat up on the toughest person we've ever seen in the series at the time and just clean house with him.
They really did milk Frieza to being the baddest dude around. Conqueror of the galaxy. Even at a young age, took over for his dad, like all that stuff, making him sound like just the baddest thing in town. Had the Frieza Force, like made the Saiyans his workhorses. So I mean, yeah, they did make him to be at that point like the best thing that ever happened.
I mean, he was like, I remember later in the series, I think it was in the Buu saga where like Supreme Kai, he was talking about Frieza and how like Frieza was told, like Frieza was the baddest guy in the universe, but he was told not to mess with Buu. Just don't do that and then you're good. But yeah, he really was like one of the supreme beings in the universe at that point.
I mean, they talked about it, and then even still, like that turn when Frieza talks to Vegeta about like, "Oh, I am the one who killed your father. I am the one who destroyed your planet. I killed everybody you used to love."
Mm-hmm.
And even Vegeta's like, "Well, you're a monster." It's like, no, you're like, yeah, like that's monster is a very polite, a very easy term to what we actually want to call Frieza.
Yep, and if you watch was it Resurrection of F where we see the original Super Saiyan, Bardock when he went back in time or whatever. That like even in that movie when Frieza was first walked out onto everything, like all of the Saiyans knew like bow down, this guy's crazy, don't mess with him. So yeah, but the thing is, we're all talking about why Frieza himself was great, and I mean still is because he's still around, but that doesn't mean his saga was the best. I mean, it had great points, introduced a great character that we still have today, but it wasn't the best saga. I mean, the best thing about that saga is one of the best things to happen in anime to this day. I'll give it that, and that was Goku going Super Saiyan. I mean, it took him like 15 episodes to do it. The 10 minutes Planet Namek had before blowing up lasted like an hour and a half, but whatever. But that was a top-notch moment. I'll give it that.
Okay, then what do you guys think the best saga is? Since I clearly am the favorite.
Definitely not the favorite, but I guess I will start next. It's going to be the Cell Saga. You guys know it. You know it. You know it was a Cell Saga. All right,
Cell Saga like the worst saga out there. You're
please.
barely above Raditz.
I'm barely above Raditz.
All right. So first we got the hype. We got a time skip technically because we had the hyperbolic time chamber. So every 2, Cell was probably the most charismatic villain that the series has ever had. We got to go back to tournament style fights because he waited for a week for them to come and catch that fate. He let them get stronger. He was like, "Come try me," in its imperfect form at that.
Yeah.
He wasn't even.
No, yeah, that was perfect when he did the tournament.
Yes, he was perfect because his perfect form was him observing 17 and 18.
Yeah, because
and Vegeta gave him the hands before he turned perfect, and that's when.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I didn't think that was before the tournament. Maybe
he was perfect Cell for tournament. That like when he got perfect Cell was when he made the cubes for the tournament.
Yeah, okay.
Which one of the best tournament arcs in anime history. Well, that's a conversation for another day. I didn't say it was the best. It's one of the best. But we'll talk about it later.
We also had Mr. Satan
and
Hercules.
We'll discuss that later because that's.
So we also have Mr. Satan / Hercule, which
I can give you that one. That's a great character. He's a great character.
He is.
Joke is what he is.
He's the people's champ. He is the Rock of the Dragon Ball Z universe.
He is the people's champ.
Satan.
Which, as a kid, I never heard him call Mr. Satan. I only remember Hercule, and I went back and watched. I was like, wow, they said Mr. Satan a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else we got on here. I love that Goku wasn't the main hero in it. He wasn't the one to defeat the villain. It was Gohan.
I mean, Goku was there though. It's called the father son Kamehameha, my guy.
I loved his forms. So I loved him going from the original to imperfect to perfect. Getting more verbal abilities and just becoming more badass. What else do we have on here?
Oh, you're just reading from a list.
No, I wrote it all down.
I can come up with some good. I can come up with some good ones. Like Piccolo's power up that was well overdue. Him and Kami fusing. I can give that credit. Those
Android 16. Like, come on, bro. You gotta talk about Android 16.
The redhead stepchild of the series.
His whole purpose was to kill Goku. His only objective. And then he turned into like the best.
No, that's part of your saga.
It's part of the whole thing. Like that's what makes it. That's what will make it good. Is Android 16? Because without Android 16, you really don't have anything that happens in the future. Because Android 16 doing what he does is what led to the friendship, the quote unquote friendship with Gohan. That then led to Gohan going Super Saiyan 2. Like, without 16, you don't have that.
We also had Trunks in this arc.
I was like, Future Trunks is pretty dope with a sword.
We had Trunks anywhere else. He had that sword.
That's why Cell's there, though.
Slice with Frieza.
Guess who still was there? Frieza.
Guess who got sliced with Frieza?
Frieza got worked in 2 seconds. Him and his father. 2 seconds.
They literally put that work in. That was disrespectful what they did to Frieza.
Yeah, no, like the previous 50 episodes was like the biggest battle against Goku versus Frieza. Then in 2 episodes, oh yeah, Frieza's done. He's gone.
he got these hands by Trunks.
Yeah.
And then we also got Super Saiyan 2. So you got after Ascended Super Saiyan where they got super buff, you got the lightning with it. Come on. Yeah. That was the best iteration of Gohan. Because he went downhill after that. Because he went to high school and he became the Great Saiyaman.
Teen Gohan, even though he was like 11, Teen Gohan is the hands down best character At least in the first, like, at least all the way up to the end of like the Buu saga, Team Gohan is like the hands down the best.
No, it's like I don't know for Gohan, for like another scene I remember is like when he was like in the Buu saga during the tournament where he's getting stabbed to get his energy sucked up. For some reason, like I just remember the really morbid scenes where people are getting like all their power drained or like literally getting killed on screen and we can't do anything about it. And even Supreme Kai at the time is like, yeah, just let them take this power. It's like, why are you just gonna let him take his power like that? That's
Well, yeah, they did that. They did that on purpose, which was stupid. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I feel like Cell's abilities were just so diverse. Like he could make many cells. He could, suck people up. He takes their powers, so he could use Kamehameha Web, regeneration, like all that. That was a devastating villain. He devastated the whole team. I know, Frieza did that too, but I feel it was just more disrespectful. Like he was just that overpowering. But it wasn't. Oh, good. I was gonna say it wasn't easy for him because he had to fight to drain people. He can't just power up and evolve just because he's got that in the back.
But the cool thing with Cell also, because you just mentioned it, was the Cell Juniors he could make, which I think is kind of interesting that we had like with Vegeta and Nappa, we had the green. I had the name and I lost it. Yeah, we had the Cybermen, and then we had like evolved Cybermen basically when we had the Cell Juniors, which were like same cell strength, very tiny, and they were just working the Z fighters until Team Gohan got pissed off, and that was like kind of not gruesome because they were part cyborg or whatever they were, but when he was just like kicking every single one of them in half and just blowing them up, like, man,
did not care.
Team Gohan for the win. But I mean,
it's just like some of the parts of Cell Saga make me so happy, and other parts just make me so like, oh, like no, that wasn't really that great. And that's what like the mini cells didn't do anything for me. It's like, oh, like they're like he's trying to get Gohan mad. It's like, why don't you just almost kill Gohan instead of making him feel things instead? It's like
because Cell's whole purpose
Frieza literally just like he's like, oh, like you're stronger than me, let me just power up again, like that you guys didn't know that I can do for the 5th time.
Cell was perfect. He was in a perfect Cell form. So to him, there was nobody better than him. Period. Point blank. You can't be better than him. He had the strength of multiple people, and for him it was like, I'm it. You can't beat me. No one else can beat me. So I'm gonna piss you off more because you won't fight me. I want you to fight me at your full strength, Gohan. And Gohan's like, no, I'm not gonna fight you. So he was like, okay, well, I can see that pissing you off makes you want to fight. So how about this? I'm gonna have my kids kick your friend's ass up and down the streets until you decide it's time to fight.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like he is the villain that elevated Gohan to his level because you wouldn't have had that. Like, if you didn't have his like charisma, it wouldn't have been as good of an arc. I will give you that. His attitude and the way his demeanor throughout the whole series was what sold that arc for me. But then on top of that, this, and this. So it was a stacking effect.
That part did nothing for me.
It's okay. It wasn't supposed to do anything to you, Matt. It was supposed to get Gohan there. It didn't.
Yeah, it's supposed to be for Gohan, not for me. Yeah, that's.
Oh man! And again, I'm going to go back to Abridged for a second because one of the best songs in the world is the Perfect Cell song. I don't know if you guys remember it.
When he was dying, or when
when Cell finally turns Perfect Cell and he sings out his perfect form. So he says each letter and what it stands for, and then it's just like, I'm Perfect Cell, and I've come to say hello. And then I think that 45-second song of Perfect Cell on Abridged I play it on a loop all the time. It's just so good.
I have not heard that, so I need to go watch it.
Oh, you gotta go watch that, man.
It's good. It's just funny because he's just sitting there cocky as can be, and he's just looking at Vegeta's like, Vegeta, you just gave me those hands, and I'm about to return them back to you.
Look, I'm gonna say, Tony, you can mute yourself for like 2 minutes, go find it and watch it. You can tell us your opinion, and Matt and I can just talk.
Okay.
Because You have it's so worth watching like
It's
immediately.
Like after the recording, like we'll watch it together. Actually,
Well, we can do that too, but I want him to watch it. He can watch, and we can just talk while he does that because it's just so good. You have to watch the video too. Don't just listen. Watch the video. You have to see it.
so
But I
was
mean,
gonna say, Dom. So you're in agreement that Cell Saga is the best saga?
I'm not, but I can say a little bit more about the Cell Saga before I tell you the actual best saga out there in the Dragon Ball Z universe. Cell had a lot of good things for him. He had a lot of good things going. It introduced us to time travel in multi universes in Dragon Ball Z, which was kind of cool. Because even when Trunks went back to the future, his future was still the same. It showed us Future Gohan, which apparently, if Future Gohan didn't die, he would have been the Gohan we all wanted, or something like that. He would have been the true, like, incredibly powerful Gohan that we all wanted to have. So that was pretty cool to learn. Man, poor Bulma. Like, seeing her, I think, if I'm not mistaken, she died in the future too, right? Didn't she? If I'm not
she's
I can't.
still alive.
She's alive.
Like how the original Cell, the Cell that became Perfect Cell.
Yeah.
He killed Bulma and Trunks in the future and took one of the other timelines into that present timeline, to the Universe 7 timeline.
Man, and that stuff just hurts my head when it was like, oh no, the Cell that took this spaceship is a different Cell that took that spaceship, and the Cell that you guys know from this universe died in the lab. He didn't even get created. Just a bunch of different cells. I was like, what the?
That's also like my complaints. Like, it was just everything that happened was a little bit too convenient. Like, Trunks warned out 2 androids, and he's like, "Oh, those aren't the 2 androids." And he's like, "Well, you told us there's 2." Like, "Oh, there's only 2 in my timeline." And then he's like, "Oh, but now we have 3 androids." Like,
and
but you only said 2.
And everybody
and they happen
else
to be stronger than the ones in the other timeline. It's just everything just happened to be a little bit too convenient for Cell.
But it brought us
our saga.
It did bring us our friends. It brought us, Waifu 18, and it brought us, Park Ranger 17, which apparently they're both still incredibly powerful, which is wild to me, knowing which just goes into the Dragon Ball Z power scaling. Their power from when they fought in the Cell Saga versus like their powers in Super. And how we all know the enemies in Super are like 10 times stronger than what happened in the Cell Saga. And they like struggled against Cell then, but now they're like super powerful. But like 17 didn't even train. He just like stayed a park ranger. And like 18 just stayed home, had a kid, and like only would fight if money was involved. But then somehow they're both like incredibly powerful in the future.
I wouldn't say they're insanely powerful, but they have unlimited stamina. That's what makes them so hard to beat, because they never get tired when they're fighting.
But they're not androids anymore, are they?
Yeah, they're androids. No,
yes.
Well,
Krillin took out their bombs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Cop out ending.
I listened to the song. It was great. Just so you know.
Oh yeah, that's
another tick on the list.
Class song. But we all know what the answer is. We all know the best saga. We all know the biggest saga, the most the most depth saga.
Raditz.
And it is that Saiyan saga. Yeah, no, it's not the Saiyan saga.
The one that's not canon Python?
The Saiyan saga is trash, except for the fact that we got to see Kaioken times 10. The best saga is the Buu saga. The Buu saga has everything that you could ever want. Look, we're not gonna except
we all have our flaws, Twan. We all have our flaws.
I'll give it to you. That was a good saga.
Dom, you're muted.
No, I don't know how that happened, but yeah, that is the flaw of the Saiyan saga or the Saiyan saga of the Majin saga is Mr. Saiyaman. That was poor Gohan.
For some reason, the Sandman reminds me of Frankie from One Piece. Like, for whenever he does this pose, I just think of the super pose. Super!
It's like, did he just get enthralled with Captain Ginyu and the Ginyu Force when he was a teenager and was like, I really want to do this when I get older?
His 5-year-old psychology is like, oh, I've seen this before. I should recreate this.
Hey, they were really cool when they did it, and they were powerful. So I'm gonna do this as well. Like,
I mean, it was powerful. Like I don't know. That's really, I think, my only disappointment with the Boo saga was that he went from being so cool and just like that's the kind of character I want to be. From like the Cell saga to Boo, and it's just, yeah, he was going to high school. He was, cool. I think that was the first time I saw like the ninja run where you run with your arms behind your back, and I was like, that's how I need to run. That's how I'll run faster. And then he started doing Saiyan Man. I was just like, I rolled my eyes every time. But
I mean, the reason he did it was because he didn't want to stop fighting and stopping crime. But Chi-Chi didn't want him to do that stuff. So if he wears a disguise, no one knows who it is, and his classmates won't know that he's super powerful. He can still stop crime, and then he can go back to school because he had to focus on his studies. Because Chi-Chi thought that was more important than saving the universe. Bad parenting 101. No. So the
beat the learn in them.
The thing is, Chi-Chi was a martial artist, so like, what the heck? Whatever. So the Majin Saga was great for many reasons. You have the tournaments coming back. You have Vegeta, who had been turned into this husband, father, laid back character that was like, he's still a bad guy, quote unquote, but he's been like domesticized. And everyone's like, no, and he doesn't even like it. You can tell he doesn't like it. And so thanks to the Majin Saga and Babidi, he was able to go back to his evil ways. Or is it Bibidi? No, Bibidi's the dad. Babidi, he let him into...
Boo?
He let him into him so he could get that power up and be able to fight Goku, because that was all, or Kakarot as he always calls him. That was his biggest thing, was beating Goku, and that allowed him to have that fight. So we got hands down one of their best fights. Majin Vegeta versus Super Saiyan 2. I think he was Super Saiyan 2 in the fight. Goku. We saw crazy, his ring attacks. We got to see him bitch smack Goku while he was like tied to a rock. It was great. And then shortly after, unfortunately, they did release Majin Buu, which was interesting to see like the different levels they had to go to, and Bibidi, transporting the places throughout it. But then you got to see Vegeta to decide, you know what, I do need to put this fight behind me. We do need to take down Buu. I shouldn't have done this to release him, because if he didn't do that, if he didn't let Bibidi take him over, then that energy wouldn't have went to Buu. Then he went and like knocked out Goku, flew over to Trunks, and was like, I'm sorry, son, take care of your mom. Like, really, really sweet moment from Vegeta. Knocked out Trunks, had Piccolo take him away, and then he blew himself up. Like,
I just hated the fact for the Goku Vegeta fight, Majin Vegeta fight, that Vegeta won because he just hit him on the back of the head. They're going fighting for like 4 or 5 episodes, hardcore, and because Goku gets distracted and Vegeta just knocks him on the back of the head, and that's the done of the fight.
They called a stop to the fight to go take out Buu. They were like, let's stop fighting each other. We're gonna go take out Buu. And then
Vegeta got a cheap shot in.
Yeah, because Vegeta didn't care. Vegeta was like, "No, I want to fight," but at the same time, he was like, "Goku, you're only gonna fight me if Buu isn't in the picture anymore." And then Vegeta was like, "Just kidding," knocked him out, took the Senzu beans, and then went to go do his thing. Realized he couldn't beat Buu, blew himself up. We thought Buu was dead, but Buu can regenerate based off of the smallest cells, and next thing you know, we have Buu. It also brought us the best villain, because as Tawan already stated, Frieza, who was the Mr. Badass of the universe, was told the one being to not fuck with was Majin Buu, my boy. Sure. So it got us the greatest villain.
Yeah, I will say, like, I love the personality changes that each iteration of Buu had. Like, he went from being like, jolly and fat to being like more serious to being like, back to being playful, but, super destructive. And that was the iteration that Supreme Kai was afraid of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, this saga also brought us our first, view of Super Saiyan 3. Goku showed all 3 Super Saiyan forms to Buu to then like fight him a little bit and then be like, can you stop killing people so that we can fight you? But like, let me show you why. Like, this is how strong we can be, yada, yada, yada. And then unfortunately, Goku's time ran up from being able to come back from the underworld and had to go back. Gohan was sent off to the land of the Kais and trained and had the Z sword that we were all like, oh, what is this magical Z sword? Breaks it on that rock. I think it was like the hardest stone in the universe. I forgot what the element was. Broke it, and everyone was losing their mind. And we find out it was a sealed Grand Elder Kai. Like the Grand Elder Kai comes out, tells us all these things. He's just like freaking Master Roshi. He's just
just a perv.
And then, but because of that, unlocks Gohan's latent energy, latent potential, even greater than Supreme Kai did.
And then we got Mystic.
And then, so we got his Mystic form, and now Gohan wants to he wants to show what he can do without ever going Super Saiyan, which, come on, bro, you were saying, go Super Saiyan.
That 10 episodes of old Supreme Kai just doing a dance around Gohan's like, why, how's this working? It's like, then he stands up, it's like, oh, never mind, it's working. Like, now I'm going to sit back down.
Man. And then you get like, so once Buu kills Bibidi, then he's on his own. He's going around turning people into chocolate and candy. Like, that was really cool. You got Hercule Mr. Satan showing up to like stop him because he's the savior of the world.
The world champ.
And
champ.
I mean, he's the one that beat Cell, apparently.
You know it.
Yeah.
Some respect
the actual footage during that tournament was shown.
And so next thing you know, somehow he befriends Majin Buu and convinces him to just stop killing. Which, what?
Hey, that's how you beat a villain right there. Friendship.
Friendship is the greatest plot hole in anime. But then, I mean, because of that, for the friendship led to them living together. But then somebody was stupid enough to try to come rob them, shoots Hercule. Buu has to heal Hercule, but gets pissed off, and that brings out Evil Buu. So, like you said, we started getting the personalities. Evil Buu beats Majin Buu, turns him into chocolate, eats him. We get Super Buu. Probably the coolest of the Boos was Super Buu. He showed us his absorbing techniques. We got all of that. We saw so many different forms, different characters. We got Goten and Trunks, like Kid Trunks.
Gotenks.
And then their fusion of Gotenks. We got introduced to fusion.
Yeah.
We got introduced to 2 fusions. They did the fusion technique. You got the Pulsar earrings that Vegeta and Goku use that are supposed to be forever, but because they got absorbed into Buu, it broke that fusion. Man. Because you had Vegito, which Gogeta's better, but we don't find out about him till later. But you get Vegito. What wasn't to love about this saga? It was just fantastic. Kid, like you said, Kid Buu, the one that everyone was terrified of. I mean, had no sense of himself, had like no ability to communicate, just giggles and laughs and angry faces, but could just. I mean, he instant transmitted to the land of the Kais.
He literally blew up Earth in like the first episode he was in. He's like, oh yeah, like this thing you love and want to protect, like goodbye.
Like just straight up blew it up, and then immediately was like, I feel the energy of that guy I was fighting before, and just instantly showed up to the land of the Kais. Almost like, what's up? Let's do this. And just like threw hands.
You know what? I don't know why, but Kid Buu reminds me of that squirrel from the Emperor's New Groove. Like when he had that balloon, he's like da-da, da-da-da, and then pops it.
Yeah, with the Jaguars? Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, the
that balloon was just every planet he touched, though.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the thing, and it brought us the greatest fighter in almost in the universe. If you're reading the manga, you understand there's somebody else who is apparently the greatest fighter in the universe. Um, but I mean, Majin Buu, when he's awake, is one of the best fighters in the world. You can put a hole through him all you want to. He's going to get back up and fight. They rely on him all the time to fight all the biggest and baddest people, unless he's asleep, and then he's not going to wake up. Fantastic thing. It brought us Buu. It brought us Super Buu, Kid Buu. Once they were defeated, we got I think Super Buu actually split back out Majin Buu, and then we got Oob, which is Kid Buu reincarnated. Technically, it's like at the end of all of it, so I don't know if we can count it in the Buu saga, but still, it really brought us what we needed. And who doesn't love Gotenks and Super Gotenks and Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and the Super Saiyan Kamikaze attack? Like, come on.
It's weird. Like, it's one of those few characters where I thought like them combining would be more annoying, but it's actually I prefer Gotenks besides Trunks and Gotenks by themselves.
Because Goten's like the whiny one, and then Trunks is like, I'm gonna do all this mischievous shit. So then you have them together, and it's just like, I'm gonna do all this mischievous shit, but I'm gonna do it real playful.
I'm gonna be cute with it.
I'm gonna do it real playful.
I mean, how can you get mad at this face? Look at me. And I mean, their showboating is why they also didn't get to take out Super Buu, because they had him on the run, and then they were playing around, and the fusion broke. And they got absorbed. Oh well.
Well, they didn't have a cool enough attack to show Buu. That's why. The Super Kamikaze Ghost attack wasn't cool enough.
I mean, that was probably their best attack, because it actually gave them like a doppelganger. So I liked it.
Yeah. So, my opinion, best saga out. Best saga in Dragon Ball Z is the Buu saga.
Just that Goku turning Super Saiyan just gets me every time. Like, it's like what makes me the happiest of all the things that we said in each saga is like, oh, that made me really happy. But just like seeing Goku finally turn Super Saiyan just makes me smile more than anything. I think that's also the 8-year-old in me smiling from finally seeing what a Super Saiyan looks like for the first time too. But
it was talked about for like 50 episodes. So
yeah, that's I don't know. I feel like that's something we didn't have to wait on with Cell. Like, I feel like it was like a lot quicker pace. It was never just like next time when Goku's working on the Spirit Bomb. Also, no Spirit Bomb there.
Oh yeah. Goku did charge up a Spirit Bomb for like 45 episodes in the Majin Saga.
Yeah, that was how he beat Majin Buu. I was like, does he ever use that to beat someone? Oh yeah, Majin Buu.
Yeah.
Which is like pulling teeth, getting people from the earth to like put their hands up.
Freaking pulling teeth, pulling from the universe.
No, but like
if Hercule didn't jump in and speak and help, it never would have happened.
True, I forgot about that part.
Hercule is actually hands down one of the best characters from DBZ.
No, Hercule's the freaking worst.
That's a topic for another day, Dom, because that Hercule saves everything. He saved them from Cell, and he saved them from Buu. I mean,
it makes no sense.
He is the most popular hero. Guess who he didn't beat though? Freezer. So that's.
It makes no sense why Hercule is so important. It makes no. Also, we almost forgot one of the also important things from the Buu saga, thanks to Hercule, Videl. Gohan. Don't make that face. Gohan's Buu, future baby mama. Which I hate. I do kind of hate what they did to her though. She was a super like tough, rugged woman, and then got with Gohan, and then like became a soft
mom now.
Yeah, it became a super soft.
They cheated her.
I was like, well, they did cheat you.
And Dragon Ball was a badass character, and then it's like, oh, I married Goku. Now I can just do everything I've always didn't want to do.
Hey, I mean, she got what she wanted from him. She learned how to fly.
She did. She learned how to fight, learn how to fly. Which was really cool. They were like, oh, a human can fly? Then you go back outside as a 10-year-old kid. Apparently, I can fly. Good thoughts, positive thoughts. I can fly. I can get there.
Is this Dragon Ball Z or is this Peter Pan?
Well, Peter Pan, didn't you have to be like touching?
Tinkerbell.
You had to get Tinkerbell's dust.
Yeah, but when you were trying to teach them, it was like, think of any thought, a happy thought. So it was kind of like the Peter Pan like complex.
But yeah, so downfall of the Majin Saga. Super Saiyan Man.
Yeah, good and bad and
Outside of
all.
that.
I liked all our lists. Our list. You know, mine was the best, but yours were two really good seconds.
Okay. Well,
Oh yeah, that's
whatever.
But this is fun.
Matt, what's our email? You guys should reach out to us
oh
on our
yes.
email. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. Tell us who
Yeah,
you
tell
think
us.
is the best. Thinks the best arc.
Best Saga, and our email is monstertriopodcast@gmail.com.
So guys, reach out to us. Let us know. We love hearing from you all. We would love more updates, seeing what you guys love about the podcast, what you think we can improve on. We're here for you. We're here for a good time, lovely conversations. Love debating with these guys. You know, great friends, continue great friendship. The Monster Trio podcast, Zoro's the best. We are where we are. But we appreciate all of your support. We love you guys listening in. Please tell your friends about us. Please give us your advice. Follow us on Instagram. We are the Monster Trio Podcast. Email us. Give us some shout outs. And we look forward to you guys tuning in next time. Peace.
All right.
Peace.
Easy. Peace.